kid enjoying a cruise. She leans over, are we mammals? And I was just like, can I jump off the boat? Can I leap into this ocean and end it?
Hello and welcome back to Misery Loves Mandy with this week's guest, Matty Chymbor. You know him, you love him. We talked about the cruise we just went on and how it feels to take a break from the industry, and it's good, it's bad, it's all the feelings. So please make sure to like and subscribe and check out the Patreon where we get into the behind the scenes of filming a stand-up special. Thank you guys so much for watching and enjoy. All right, we're back in LA. Cheers.
Back in LA.
More Alani, just working
Sponsored
on
by Alani.
trying to get that sponsorship.
They did sponsor us. Thank you, Alani, for these two
You're not
cans.
allowed to say that.
Why?
Because it's a lie.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can't lie.
Also,
What's
YouTube,
it, illegal?
YouTube, if you say it's a sponsorship, they ask when you fill out everything in these sponsorships here.
Well, then cut this out. This isn't I don't want to say the word anymore. You scared me.
Oh, no. I
used to do that on mine all the time. I would say
was
everything.
just kidding. I'm not serious. But you do
Oh.
have to check if you're a sponsor.
Oh,
It's not a sponsor.
it's not. So you don't care.
No.
Well, these aren't sponsored by us. They're not. They didn't sponsor us, so don't thank them.
Okay.
They're good though.
We're back.
We're back.
It feels so good to be back in this room.
It does.
It feels as good as it was to get back in the apartment. We were gone.
Okay.
It does. I feel like I'm home and I'm ready to get
right.
back at it.
That's nice.
It is nice.
I know. I'm not here enough to feel that feeling, but it's a bold statement to say you feel as comfortable here as you do in an apartment, but I guess that's what your listeners like. They want, because you are comfortable here.
This is my favorite thing.
This is your
This is the one thing he's sick of me talking about, my podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone that has a first child talks about their child all the time and shows up pictures. We're going to talk about my podcast. My podcast.
Middle of the night, I roll over. She goes, episode 12 didn't upload. It didn't upload. And I'm just like.
Matt was with me from the beginning when we first started dating, and I knew zero things about podcasting. I would be at his apartment with an old computer in his kitchen. It was when I had two eyebrows, the first two eyebrows I was born with.
Her eyebrows were just going around her face. It was just like migrating around her face.
And I would download it overnight. It was just everything went wrong from so many times.
Podcasting is hard. If I can give any recommendation to a lot of you people listening, don't try it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
There should be warnings on all podcasts. Don't try this at home because they're not worth it ever.
Unless you want to use second floor studios.
I was just going to say, don't
Unless.
worry. But if you do want to start a podcast, let me tell you why.
You get a coupon. Buy 2 episodes, get 1 free at Second Floor Studios.
Paid by Matty Chymbor.
Yay.
We're
My
in a
eyebrow-
recession.
my
I'll give
eyebrows-
the coupon if you're listening. Fuck it.
And you get a free boat.
I thought you were going to say free Botox.
I was going to say for the joke was going to be you get to go to the doctor and get some eyebrow shots because your eyebrows are going to fall off. And this was a long-winded explanation of my
It won't
joke.
if you start here.
That's true.
If you started home with no knowledge.
That's true.
This would have been a way better way to start. But
I mean,
that's not how things work.
Second floor studios. We'll save your eyebrows.
yeah. You
Yay!
should double as a dermatologist up here. I'm going to the dermatologist tomorrow.
You are, which is so funny. So,
Yep.
we ate healthy
Which is so funny. Is it funny, Mandy?
This is what's funny about it. So we eat healthy for months before he has his blood work appointment, just for his check-in.
Yep.
The day before, we eat pizzas, barbecue,
garbage, barbecue. Yes, thank you. Pizza, barbecue, other things that I didn't make.
And then he has his blood work, and it's not perfect because of the day
Not perfect.
before.
My cholesterol went up a little bit, which it's fine. It's no medication. We're good, but It was the day before thing, and then of course, I'll let you finish your funny story.
This is so funny. And now he has his first skin check appointment at a dermatologist after we just got back from a cruise in Florida.
I thought about it in the shower. I was like, just me rolling into the dermatologist, tan as fuck. They're like, okay, this guy. My moles, you got a lot of moles. Which I've had moles my whole life. I've gone to the dermatologist before.
That was hot.
Yeah, I know. Not to get
love
her,
a moly man.
Not to get her wet in her chair. You think you like mold? Well, it's funny because growing up, my mom used to call them beauty marks when I was a little kid.
My mom says that too.
So like, literally, I've never heard the term mole, like ever. Moles are rodents you hit with your cars. And my mom's like, you have a lot of beauty marks. And I go, in my brain, I was like, I'm beautiful. This makes sense. All the symptoms lead towards beauty. And my whole body. And then in health class in 9th grade, we had this like word scramble. And I remember blank and blank are symptoms of skin cancer. And I was like looking and I'm like, I don't fucking know what the one is. And one of the words was mole. And I was just like, my face, everything sank. And I'm like, yeah, but these are like beauty marks. They're like, those are all moles. I go, they're not beautiful at all. They go, no, they're skin cancer symptoms.
But wait.
Not always, but
I think a mole is different than like a freckle beauty mark.
Well, I got moles too. My back is like a garden. I got moles, baby.
He does have moles on his back.
I got a fucking mole garden.
I'll tell you where there's no moles.
Yeah.
That face. Get
No,
it? Misdirection.
I was say I have a mole on my face. That's how she's trying to talk dirty in bed. There's no moles on that dick. I'm like, actually, I do have one. It's right under at the bottom. If you can.
Oh, no. Big mole.
Sorry. Anyways, I'm going to get... Moles are funny because the term they use for a mole that should be looked at more or removed is suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
They say you have a lot of suspicious moles on your back. And I go, what are they, showing you their penis? What are they hiding, being weird?
What's suspicious about them?
I don't know. The suspicious part is very bizarre to me. You're like, hey, maybe you have a lot of pervy moles on your back we got to get rid of. But I've had suspicious moles removed before, and they've all been fine. So I'm going to go.
You have to get them removed. You have to get some of it removed to then check it.
Well, they just take the whole thing. They don't take a piece of it.
Oh.
I mean, they're tiny. What are you going to cut?
I don't know.
They basically just scoop it out. And then, yeah, I don't like the term either. Mole terms are gross. Suspicious. We're going to scoop it out. I go, okay. Now we're using ice cream terminology. Get the fuck out of here.
That's really confusing.
It's very disgusting.
But imagine like losing your life because of a beauty mark.
Well, I don't think you're losing your life. First off, it's not a beauty mark anymore. Manny's still in child term. You go to the oncologist, they go, your beauty mark's going to take your life.
Oh, man.
No, well, I mean, people get them removed, and that's just the little bit of skin cancer that I mean, I don't know anything about it. I don't want to really, this isn't a medical podcast by any means.
I don't know. I spit some deep knowledge on here.
Yeah. You want to hear Mandy's deep knowledge? We're on the cruise, and she leaned over. She goes, are we mammals? So if you want to get a little insight of her deep knowledge.
No.
This is mid enjoying a cruise. She leans over, are we mammals? And I was just like, can I jump off the boat? Can I leap into this ocean and end it?
There's backstory.
What is
backstory?
Okay. We're not paying attention in 3rd grade? Is that the backstory?
I didn't pay attention in any grade.
No, I know.
I'm sure you can't tell. But no, we were talking about something, and I wish I remembered. And I said, he looked at me weird. He had me, that face when you did say something dumb. And then I go, wait, are we mammals? Because what I said before that, you were looking at me like we're not. And I thought we were. So that's why I said that.
Mandy, that backstory gave nobody any information. You go, I have a backstory, and then you proceeded to reference a story you didn't remember. And then you said, and then I looked at you and said, are we mammals? You just said the same thing.
I forgot what we were talking about, though.
It was probably, there's times where Mandy says stuff, and I just, later, it's involuntary. I go, Mandy. Like, she won't know things where I'm like, I mean.
I don't know how people know things.
That's a nice way to put you not knowing things.
Yeah. I don't
You
have...
know what you know. That's good though. She's in her thing. Look, we have a mammal chart.
Warm-blooded, cold-blooded, with joints, without joints.
All right, the joints. Do I need the joint one? I'm pretty. What's on the without joints? I never thought
Everything is a mammal?
fucking snail has elbows. Come
No,
on.
you gotta read the chart.
Well, the
Mammals
chart-
are on the far left.
Mammals. We're over here. We're a warm.
We're warm-blooded.
Pigs, tigers, rabbits, and bears. Those are the only mammals?
No, there's a lot more. Those are examples of mammals.
Oh.
right.
You guys are really digging me in
Birds
the hole
are not
here.
mammals.
I will say
they're
now
warm-blooded.
that we're digging deeper, my knowledge stopped because like now I'm a little confused because like what is a mammal? This chart.
I'll tell you what's not. Insects, mollusks,
No, we don't.
reptiles, amphibians.
I'm stumping myself. It's like I'm getting too deep into my explanation where I'm like, you want to know what a mammal is?
So what is a mammal? You and me, baby, ain't nothing
Yeah, I know.
but mammals.
What the fuck is a mammal then? Is it warm-blooded? It's a warm-blooded fucking thing.
Oh,
All right. So
take it away, Mike.
It is a warm-blooded vertebrate animal of a class of distinguished by the possession of hair or fur,
Okay.
which means not birds, the secretion of milk by
Nice.
females for the nourishment of the
boy,
young.
the milk is the giveaway.
So wait, birds don't have hair?
No, they have
Feathers.
And typically the birth of live young.
Wow.
All right.
So not birds.
Hairy, which check. Milk.
Is there a mammal quiz we can take right now? That'd be kind of nice. I'll be honest, the second you showed that chart, I was like, and another. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at right now. Because I looked at the pig, I go, why the fuck is a pig a mammal?
So do pigs have milk? They have hair. They're hairy.
Start your mammal quiz.
They give birth, and they
the hair and fur, the milk,
and
birthing
babies.
babies that aren't in shells. Which of these is a carnivore whose secretions are used in the perfume industry? All right, now we're fucking talking about.
koala, anteater, and you could read
I
the
know
other
two.
two.
I know
'cause
two.
I don't know them.
I know two. I'm gonna say koala. This is actually not exciting. We're giving
Yeah,
Mike a virus.
I think.
Let's
the
not.
page
Let's,
crashed,
The
literally.
page
Yeah.
crashed.
The sign from God.
All right, we'll
Fucking
move on from
a
mammals.
psych ward's gonna come in halfway through and be like, "You two, come with me." Wait, I'm not done with the mammal quiz.
Well,
Are you smarter than a sixth grader?
No,
No, not at
no. I think we learned a lot about each other on the cruise.
That was great.
I learned that Matt rarely has diarrhea.
And guess, well, what do you mean rarely?
He got a stomach
Oh, that was
ache,
a yeah.
And
Well, first off, yeah, it was the last day. I didn't have it on the cruise.
no, yeah, the last day.
the last day.
The last morning, like the day we left.
They give you they let you have breakfast on the cruise, which is a nice gesture, but then you go out there and it's just people hoarding food like they to get their money's worth, which I was like, all right, this is a red flag. And now, I went and got my eggs and the stuff, and I'm like, they just like whip. You can tell they're just like cranking food out. And the second we get in the car, my stomach, which I never get stomach aches like that. I never get diarrhea. I never get any of that stuff. But my stomach hurt, and I was like, oh, it's probably the food. But usually it doesn't manifest into a whole episode of watery shit. And and then I proceeded to go to her dad's. The story, I don't know why I have to keep telling it.
You didn't have to get into all the details.
Well, I don't know. Now I don't know how far they want me to go. I feel like there's three people being like, I don't believe this guy. Anyways.
So he keeps bringing up his belly and how weird it is, and he's scared he ate something wrong. And I'm like, I live in that.
And that was another thing. I go, how often are you getting diarrhea? She goes, I don't know, once a week. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about?
I think a lot of women and people, not just women, I think a lot of people live in a stomach ache world. And I'm just a stomach ache girl.
That's like your friend Grace's husband mentioned that where he was correct. I could be wrong, but I remember him being like,
Austin, shout out
Austin
Austin.
was saying he was just constantly getting diarrhea and he was just living with it. And then come to find out he's gluten intolerant.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're like acting like some of these people, maybe you, you're just shitting everywhere, and you're like, yeah, that's just life. I don't think it is. Mandy's now. Let's do. I watch Mandy sometimes, and I'm like, God damn it, help. She didn't know what pneumonia was. That was a scary
We've
thing.
been over this. I've never had it. I don't know anyone with it. How you learn
Mike,
through experience.
I'm not attacking you, but I'm saying pneumonia is everyone knows what pneumonia is.
Yeah, the history of pneumonia killed so many people. Like,
I don't know
why he said
yeah,
it like
now what do you know
like
about
a history
pneumonia?
teacher.
but
How'd you whisper it?
Pneumonia's it's
He
been
goes,
around
"History."
forever.
Are you trying to turn me on? What the fuck was that?
You're turning him on to pneumonia.
Yeah. All right. But I'm just getting at there's health things that I think you should have some grip on. It's because it's scary. What if we're older one day and you don't know you're coughing up fluid? I understand you probably just go to the
I'll
doctor.
ask ChatGPT.
Nice. There we go. But I don't want to see pneumonia Google. But then the diarrhea thing, I think.
Don't look at it. What is pneumonia? Tell
It's
me.
when you get fluid in your lungs because of an infection.
Oh, shit. You nailed that.
Yeah, I know. I'm a doctor. I just pose as a comedian.
Okay, enough with the pneumonia.
Anyways, what I'm getting at is I think you should know, maybe because you're cold all the time. I get it's silly girls get cold, but she's fucking cold all the time. I'm finding out she had diarrheas frequently.
You know, I haven't in a while. I had it when I eat a lot, but now that I'm just eating 3-portion meals, I've been fine.
I will say I'm proud of you for openly talking about having diarrhea, considering Mandy is her pooping relationship with me in the room is very different.
I don't want anyone to be around.
On the cruise, she had to poop, and she turned the faucet on. I'm like, how long do we have to date before the faucet goes away?
I don't want anyone to hear.
And then I heard her poop. She goes, oh, no. She verbally said, like, she was commenting, like, to play it off. I was like, we've been dating for 4 years. A part of me was like, don't even acknowledge it because it's, like, weird. I heard faucet on, shit, her go, oh, no. And I was like, you don't have to do that anymore.
Oh, it's so funny.
I ignored it.
I didn't know if you heard me because you didn't say anything.
I heard, because that response, you're already in your head.
It's so funny.
So anyways.
Well, the first 2 days on the cruise, my stomach was not having the food.
Well, yeah, because it's your weekly diarrhea.
Right after we ate, I had an instant stomach ache. Also, I've said before, if you get stomach aches, once I started taking the seed probiotic.
We're not sponsored by them.
Not sponsored. Completely gone. Completely cured all my stomach aches. It's like my favorite product I've ever gotten.
I will say since the day I took the probiotic, it's been better.
Probiotics, man.
Yeah, they are kind of a sleeper, which they actually help with mental health. They help with a lot of things. So if you're feeling crazy, take a probiotic.
Yeah, you'll feel mental clarity and less
If you're panicking
diarrhea.
over if mammals are pigs or not, pop a probiotic. Calms you right down.
So on the cruise, we did a virgin cruise, by the way, which is adults only, which was amazing. Having no
we've
kids.
had 3 swinger comments, so don't get any. When you say adults only, people are like, what are you, swingers? You're like, no.
Just means their kids are left at home.
Yeah, I want to go on a cruise where everyone's overweight and eating as much as they can and fuck each other. No.
Although if you look at a lot of swingers, that's what they look like.
That is true. The pineapple, they're like, we don't eat fruit. That's why it's outside.
It's the first time they actually purchased
the
fruit.
only healthy thing they put outside the door. All the fucking chips are on the inside.
It's actually why it was upside down, because they don't even know how
actually
pineapples
threw it
work.
and it rolled and it got stuck upside down.
And they stuck with it.
Yeah,
But on the cruise, they had a couples trivia. And Royal Caribbean, and I've gone on those, the couples trivia, like, you really have to know your partner. And they, like, put you in a position to make you look bad. And
they must have learned their lesson, but
it's fun to watch.
I would love to. Yeah, I'm not to hijack the story, but yeah, they kind of did like multiple choice. Like if your partner was a Disney, the guys were being asked the questions. Or like if your partner was a Disney princess, or was it the other way around? Regardless, what one would they be? So it was like really like no one was getting in trouble, and it was kind of just
kinda
like
lame.
It was kind of lame because some of them we were trying to do the. Answering on the side, and it was just like, what are you Elsa from Frozen? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck she is.
But I didn't want to put our names in because I was so nervous. I was like, what if there's like simple things we don't know about each other that we definitely like should have that we didn't think about? And then we were playing on the side while they were going. Which wiener? This white family.
Yeah, they're fucking white.
So white. The boy.
They're pro ice white.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
Why? Let's get some views.
They were.
Have that be the title of the episode.
No, I'm not even saying it. The son looked like he just looked like what did you call him? A golden
He
retriever.
had golden retriever hair.
It just I was hoping they were European to just make me feel better.
They were Southern, which is even worse. White.
They weren't. We were watching the trivia. We're here, and then there was this other couple here. They first stand right in front of us. No care in the world, talking.
Yeah, wouldn't you think to like turn around? That would never happen with me. Where we were in there was like the trivia room. I want to just do I want to redo the spatial explanation.
Close your eyes right now.
There was the trivia room, and it was attached to a bar, and then there was a side bar attached to that with a large doorway, and there was no one sitting there because that was like a side angle to the trivia thing.
But it was full, so you had to,
Well, we went to when it was empty when we were in that room, and long story short, we were at like a high top, and then in the doorway, which was our only way to see the trivia, these fucking people just like all congregated. I'm like, we're like 3 to 5 feet behind you.
I was raging.
I know, that was pretty annoying.
And then
no, you kept seeing them
everywhere.
That cruise was also weird. They're like, it's sold out, and then I'm like, I saw the same 12 people. I go, we're not in a hologram, and they're just fucking moving them in front of us every day. I saw the same like 5 people.
This was a crazy one about the same people. I asked the last day because we didn't really get many. Sometimes I hate when like people. It was like a modern cool cruise, so they took away some of the cheesy factors that I'd like. Speaking of cheesy, I wanted to wear this shirt on the cruise and I forgot.
Oh.
So I wore it today.
Nice.
I like Royal Caribbean. You know how you get like on those cruise, those cheesy photo shoots you do. They always have like the backdrops and stuff. You do get the cruise photos. It's like
you're right. I don't know. Prior to this, my last cruise, I was like 20 or 19. So
okay.
And I'm old, so that was a while ago.
Well, it looks like they set it up like a high school photo. You know, there's backdrops. You wear your nice outfits every night. They take photos of you.
I do remember that being a thing where there was like lines for them.
Yeah.
And like people would do them a lot, yeah.
Here, no photos. No like employees just like around to like take photos.
Yeah.
So the last night, I finally asked someone, can you take a picture of us? And when we go to dinner, they're sitting next to us at dinner. Out of all of the thousands of people on that cruise. How fun. Crazy. Oh, yeah. We also went into the cruise.
Couple, but crazy.
Thinking
they're not crazy.
We're going to make some friends. We're going to have some cruise friends and be social.
I kind of like that you didn't need to... Because most cruises, you have to like sit with people you don't want to, and which I get. It's fun. If we're drinking, you shoot the shit with people. But I kind of like that you didn't really have to mingle. We kind of just were like... All the restaurants, you sat at a table by yourself like it was a restaurant, not some like fucking, feed these animals and kick them out thing. So, but then I mean, I think the people we talked to, that couple at dinner, and then even the guy at the roulette table with his daughter, they were cool.
Yeah, everyone.
But I need to be. I'm not trying to meet. I'm sure if we talked to more people, it would have been fun. But I didn't miss it. I kind of like being quiet.
Yeah, you're just on a boat with events.
Yeah, you're on a boat. It's weird being on a cruise because like. At least 4 times a day, you're like, oh, people fall off these things. Mm-hmm. Like, and then we did the math the last day, very loose math. But we were standing on the back of the boat, and I was like, geez, if you fell off, like the boats are going faster than you think. So we saw like a ripple of a wave, and we follow it, and we're like,
let's count
in like 30 seconds,
it was like 10 seconds.
10 seconds, you're literally disappeared.
You're gone.
It's crazy to think, and it's like.
They can't turn around easy too. Like
that's
turning them around is so difficult. It's not like a jet ski that you just womp like to circle and get back.
I think stopping it's gonna be hard. But that's when I was like, they must have like a little runner boat that just goes and tries to find the people. And if they don't, that's insane.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I was curious. I'm like, although where we were standing that last night, I'm like, oh, it's just a railing, but there's still like a railing and then another protective barrier to some degree. So if you wanted to fall off it, like it's almost like you have to be intentional. But I'm like, in what other situations, like how do you fall off a fucking boat?
I don't know. I guess if people are, I just worry about people who are drunk, which I thought there would be way more wasted people. now that I just want to see more wasted people lately.
We were also, I mean, and they're, didn't really go to those locations.
I guess you're right.
I mean, fuck, we went to the nightclub by accident once and we're in there for 1 minute. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Which is a weird, I mean, I don't know. These people wanted to fuck. People were drinking, though.
They were drinking.
They were excited. I don't think anybody was actually, like, trashed.
So scary fact, it takes over a mile to turn the boat around. So to get back to and even hope that they're in the same spot, like you're just tossing
Makes you wonder
every flasher over to be like, hold on to this and it's a beacon and someone else might get here before we do.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're drifting.
Why the fuck wouldn't they have like a jet ski? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are they turning the whole boat around? That's insane.
You're so high up there. Is it? And I've never been on a cruise, but it's probably not the easiest mechanism to dump something off and load. Like it's.
Well, they have the boats. They have the rescue
boats
boats that are attached to the side, which we knew because it was blocking our view of the whole ship.
Yeah, we get into our room and we have a rescue boat in front of our window.
Yeah,
our
nice
balcony. We have a balcony we paid for.
Which are, the silver lining. I go, these are pretty nice rescue boats. It's not like a fucking inflatable. It's like a legitimate boat that has a cover. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But regardless, I'm like, you think the rescue procedure would have like 2 jet skis that you can just go scoop this idiot up, or maybe they're like, maybe it's intentional. Maybe they want him to die. Maybe they're like, no, I don't want to. We want to get rid of one dumbass when we can take advantage of them falling off a cruise ship.
How high is the fall?
From the bottom, it didn't look
I'll say
too bad.
60 to 100. I mean, depends where you are because you're not always like in a position to fall into water. Like on upper floors, you'd fall on the deck. So there's only a few levels or areas where like you look over, you're like, oh, that's literally like ocean. And at the lower deck, we were on floor 7, and that was one that you can see the water. I'd say freaking for 7 floors, probably like 60 to 90 feet. Maybe. I don't fucking know. I'm just guessing.
I don't know. But yeah, those are some quick little wieners we had on our cruise. Everything was so good. I don't even like complaining about it. But
it was great. Yeah, we had a good time.
We were above, our room was above the nightclub that went till 2 a.m. every single night.
Yeah. It's funny. It's not about hearing all the music. The bass is what gets you.
Just,
it's really. And it wasn't even like recognizable bass. I was like, these are just like loud Congo music.
That was something I did not like. And
so that's our Virgin Voyages review. I think the pros though, the food was good outside of me. My stomach ache thing is definitely tainting my reviews, but the food was good. I thought we enjoyed it.
Yeah, the food was great.
Some things were like, oh, this is cruise food, and the other things are like, oh, this is just really good food. So,
all in all, I'd give it a A for cruise food.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I would
my
say
diarrhea is in my ear. Like, man, I don't know about A.
It's normal.
My diarrhea is in my ear. Yeah, I don't do A.
Yeah, I think I give it an A for food. Don't pack a steamer. They took our steamer, and we didn't get our bag for hours because it was in security. And when we went to pick up our steamer after the cruise, 2 tables worth of everybody's steamer.
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous.
And partial view means you'll get a
partial view.
Partial view. Who knew?
Who would have thought?
You get what you pay for.
No.
Thought it was a good deal.
Yeah, it was so fun. We had a good time.
That's a funny wiener. The third one down. Do you want to do that or no?
Oh yeah, that was kind of interesting. I mean, yeah.
Do you want to get into it?
I suppose. I'm trying to just think how. It's weird being. I mean, yeah, on the cruiser vacationing. I mean, the thing with that, it was an adults only, which you're like, all right, there's no kids. It's great. What blows my mind is like when we're walking around, the amount of adults that were sunburnt was astronomically high.
Yeah.
Where you're like, what the fuck? Like if you're an adult that gets sunburnt, you're kind of a loser. Like to me, a sunburnt adult is like somebody who boards Group C on a Southwest flight, where you're like, you're just missing that level of obedience to like not stand out a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like something you should be able to keep on top with.
Just beat red white people. just red in the tan lines. I mean, I will say there was a day where, when you're kind of going in and out of the water, we're like, okay, maybe I thought I was a little sunburned, but we weren't. But to see just like people just like accepting the burn.
So burnt though, like painfully bright
full body
red.
I'll give you this. I'll give you shoulders. This area on your arm for some reason gets burnt quicker. Your nose, somewhere on your back a little bit, and then maybe your legs because fuck
That's
our
your
legs.
full body.
No, it's not. I'm saying these little areas. I'll give you a little wiggle room, and I'm saying you can have like 1.5 of those in my chart of are you acceptably burnt.
Yeah.
Outside of that, you're like, get it together, please. What are we doing? Just fucking spray. It's spray.
It's spray. It's pretty easy.
Although it's expensive spray because we did notice on one of the islands they're trying to sell you shit for like $30, which I'm like, I'm sick of the fucking tourism upcharge shit. I know this is a hacky premise. Things at airport cost a lot of money, but then it makes you really stop and think. You go, no, but why the fuck is this?
You're assholes.
Why is that?
Because they know it's convenient and they know you need it. You're desperate. You'll pay whatever you have to pay.
Well, that's when I dig my fucking anonymous heels in, and we're in fucking Tahoe, and the goddamn one of the shops where they're trying to hit you with $25 or $29.
No, it's $35 for.
I think it was 20. Anyway, regardless, it was around 30, and then I was like, "Yeah, you want to do this shit? I'll fucking."
We use the sample every day.
No, I use the real. We use the real.
It said try me on it.
Mandy, I think it was just this. It meant like try me, buy me. It wasn't like try me sample.
No, it was a try me sample. Why would they have to try me on it?
Well, I was taking the real one and I was fucking spraying it in my hair. I was doing sun in because I'm still in high school and I wanted my hair to be blonder. But regardless, you want to fucking charge more? I'll just.
Yeah, I'm just using it. That's crazy though. Like $30-something for sunscreen.
That costs $8 at a store.
At the entire hotel, there was only one shop, and that was the only sunscreen option you had. I just thought that was that made me so mad. So yeah, every day I just went in and sprayed my whole body like a trash human.
That's one
for
thing
free.
Now I don't fucking do the shit costs too much thing. Like, I don't know where we've been where something's so expensive. I'm like, just do it. That's something I just can't do anymore. Is like spend too much for something.
Yeah, it pisses me off.
We were just talking about Cheesecake Factories just got shit because apparently their slices are thinner, which.
Ooh.
You know what? I like Cheesecake Factory a lot. I love it, arguably. And the fact that they're doing that kind of pisses me off. You're like, we came to you because you gave us too much shit and too much food and fat fucking slices.
Yeah, we're there for a reason.
Yeah, and then now you're giving people slivers, and it's just like, you're part of the herd.
So yeah, it's the shrinkflation, the practice of reducing the size or quantity of a product while maintaining its price.
Which is more manipulative because then you're like, am I crazy? Or is this smaller than what it was? Like in a weird way, if the price went up, you blatantly remember the numbers, but I'm not fucking measuring. I'm not measuring my slice and being like, it used to go to my third knuckle, not my fucking first.
The fat kid in me knows that every Halloween that shit gets smaller.
Oh, the candies?
Oh, candies do for sure.
Oh, every fucking Halloween. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
The minis now. The minis are just a little bite.
Fun size minis. It's
like how they call them Oreo thins. Although, I mean, they're like, it's thin, it's fun. I'm like, it's a chip. Oreo chips.
Fun sizes are really...
the whole bag, baby.
Yeah.
That's a sneaky way to say small. Fun size.
Why don't they sell...
Fun size penis.
They should sell DIY Oreos where they give you a tub of the cream and a bag of the fucking things.
Ooh.
They're called Dunkaroos, baby.
They should.
Those are Dunkaroos.
But Oreos, why would they not do that? That's a great idea.
That is a great idea.
I'm an inventor in my past life. I tell Mandy ideas all the time, and then we talk about how to get it done, and we're like, let's just forget about that. That's not fun.
Oh, you have to be rich to make an invention.
Yeah, any sort of invention. But that'd be a good idea. Yeah, shrinkflation, that shit pisses... That pisses me off.
They've done it for a while with their food, and they've gotten more away with it because it is less noticeable. But a cheesecake slice, you really...
I mean, it's
can't
like,
hide that.
why would you do that to the cheesecake? It's the one thing... What are you doing? Like, do it to the food so then you get people to buy the cheesecake. You're doing it to the thing at the end. Maybe they think like, oh, half these people aren't even finishing it. they just get it for novelty, 2 bites. You're like, no, we're getting it for the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
No, I know that because when we didn't finish ours for your birthday, which we get the celebration cheesecake every year for our birthdays, we didn't finish it, and your boy put it in a lunch bag and put it in the freezer.
We still have to try that. See how it.
Oh, I looked at it all day
looks good?
yesterday. I was gonna take it out.
You
and I'm
should
like,
have.
I know. And then I was going to, and then when I wanted to later in the day, I go, how can I defrost this? And it was going to be a process. So that's going to be, you have to leave it out for probably a long time. Not a long time, but like a good day. I don't want it to be like coal, like ice chunks in the middle.
Yeah, no, we don't want that.
No.
If you listen to my birthday episode, Matt surprised me with a banner on the cruise ship.
I know. I snuck it in the bag. I had fucking scotch tape and a happy birthday banner, which was missing the B.
It was missing a B.
That's fucked up.
Brand new.
That's a dollar store purchase that you made.
Yeah.
She'll just get stuff from the dollar store.
And then I hang
the
it dollar
up,
store.
and it's missing the B, and I go, you fucking know the worker who made that. It was like, he got all the letters on. He goes, yeah, fuck this. And he goes, just put it out. It doesn't matter. They get the idea.
Yeah, we got the idea. It did work.
That's kind of funny, the cutting corners thing. I mean,
Happy
I don't
Earth
think
Day.
anybody would buy that and be genuinely pissed off. Be like, oh, it's missing the B. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was the
silly.
thought that counted.
Yeah, and it looked good. I had to tape it when we went to secure a seat. That's another thing with cruises. You have to go like wake up at the crack of dawn for a chair.
It wasn't worth it. I don't know how many times my type A in me won't ever learn. I wake up at 6 a.m. to get a chair for my birthday. So we have the boat day, like the ocean day. So you're on the boat all day. And I knew it was going to be packed. So I got to get the perfect chair on my birthday. And then I wake up and then I grab the wrong side. We scouted the day before. We get to our thing and there's a guy in a Speedo in a table that was right next to
his iPad.
On his iPad, just alone. His dick's just
a
staring
fucking
at me.
fat cruise mascot. You're like, get out of the way.
Right facing us. And I was so mad. I felt like such a birthday brat. I'm like, it's my birthday. I woke up at 6 a.m. to get this spot and now this fucking Speedo man is there.
You know what I did? I went into his ear and I said, move, you big piece of shit. No, I didn't do that. We both stared at him until he moved.
Yeah, then he moved.
Yeah.
This is another thing I want to say about cruises. I hope you guys are getting all the cruise information.
Yeah, plan your next voyage.
Your next voyage.
Or your podcast at Second Floor Studios.
Yeah, or your Lonnie or Seed Probiotic.
Yeah. Or your diarrhea cream.
Or your ew.
I don't know.
They don't make that. One thing we talked about a lot while on the cruise was the cruise ship workers.
Oh yeah, that's a rough job. I mean, at first you're like, oh wow, they're busting ass, and then the part, I don't want to say creepy, but what like starts to really sink in how much they're busting their asses. We were at dinner one night and one of the waitresses was super nice, Elma, great
loved
woman.
Elma.
She's awesome, and one of the hostess was a nice guy. I don't know his name. And then the next morning, they're also working in the food court area. So it's like, they're not just like, oh, your dinner shift and then you're off for the day and then you go to work at night. No, you work like around the clock.
It's 12-hour days.
And then you start to see that and you're like, oh, this sucks. And they work, we Googled it, they work the whole cruise ship. They probably go to bed at night and then wake up and work 6 consecutive 15-hour days. And then there's a day off when the cruise, I guess, gets to port, and then it goes right back out.
There's not a day off.
Oh, I guess not. Yeah, they do it for like 6 months.
We asked when her next day off is. She said we work 6 months straight, and then you get 2 months off.
So you think you're bitching about your job? Go fucking do that. And then between being like a food runner or cook or a waitress or waiter at a restaurant, and then we're at one of the shows. And it's like a variety show, and they have these like talent acts. Very fun. It's silly.
Yeah.
But the acts were trying their hardest. And I remember one in particular, the last one, it was like a guy and a girl. They're both on roller skates. They're spinning on a stage, and he's holding her up.
Insane act.
Yeah, I mean, it was like clearly that they can fucking let go of her, and she'll fly into the crowd. And I'm I'm just people watching the audience, and it's just these like old pieces of shit on their phones, just not paying attention. And I'm like, as performers, I'm just like, oh my God, I would literally stop and I would just be like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Leave right now.
We're like, no wonder the stand-up comedian didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want, and no one.
You just
will care.
gotta get by, and then I mean, it's like that's why I mean, as sweet as the couple we were sitting next to, we were not telling them we were comedians.
Oh, that was so
until he was like, "Oh, did you guys see the comic?" And then he was not like he didn't shit on him, but it was enough for me to be like, "Okay, by the way, we do stand. That's our job. We do stand up." I was like,
"Yeah, you told him."
But it was more for like to kind of defend the comedian, being like, "Yeah, these shows." You're like constricted to what you can say to some degree. I mean, maybe he could have made better choices on jokes but seeing the crowd, seeing how they don't give a fuck, they're on their phones. You're like, I mean, now this is like a catch-22. I'm like,
I have to pee so bad. Hold on.
Do you lean in and like say, oh, this crowd sucks, I should just keep trying better shit? Or do you just do like bare minimum jokes? Like he would go on stage and be like, who's drinking wine? Shitty joke about wine. Who's drinking beer? Come on. It was like very like hosty shit. So I'm like, would you go just do that and get by? Or would you be like, I'm just going to try to work on weird shit? I feel like it's easier to not get in trouble doing the bare minimum shit.
You get brought back doing the bare minimum, I think. I think if you go edgy or something, that might be your last paycheck. And I'm told some of those paychecks are good from those cruises and stuff.
I mean, for what it is, for being put up, free food, as comedians who tour, I mean, seeing what clubs give you for your travel and hotel and then your pay. I mean, I can see it being good. I personally wouldn't like the shittiest part is the clientele where you're like, I'm just performing for these fucking old middle America.
So none of them are probably stand-up fans and used to being around.
No, it's just a thing.
Being in a room.
It's just a thing. Yeah.
So it's just this is a 9 o'clock thing that we could try this night if you want to do that. So everyone probably eventually does it once. You're doing this same act probably to the same people, or trying to do 3 or 4 different fresh acts in case some of the people come every night. So that's probably part of it, that you might even not be on your freshest material because you're just going through everything.
And you probably can't buy. There's a comfort where you're like, I can't say, I don't know. Like
you can't escape them either. If you say something like, hey, I want to have a hot take on Israel or something.
Well, they would.
You see that guy at the pool the next day.
No, I mean that wouldn't. One, they would never, ever, ever allow that. I mean, it's literally just whatever shit. But in my head, I'm like, you think? I see. Again, let me step back. I'm kind of like crisscrossing. We saw him in the smaller room, and the next night he was doing the bigger room. I go, for all we know, we just saw him just doing whatever shit that night, because the next night he was going to do some of the better stuff.
I wanted to see him in the big theater room, but that's the room where the couple next to us was.
Yeah.
And they said the whole time they didn't like that he was being like, you guys suck. Like he was calling out the audience, being like, that joke deserved better. So I don't think it went well.
Yeah, I don't know. Stand-up's dude, stand-up is like this weird thing people think they want to watch because they see it like do well online, or they see the highlight reels from whether it's TV or, like I said, on social media. But then in person, I go, it's not always this like fun thing. Like even your show last night.
Oh my god.
Your show last night, I went just to watch. It was at some like pupusa place.
The show was awesome, by the way.
The show, he packed it out, but it was like the host was up there, and I'm like, I just put myself in the shoes of like, I saw this like these people at a table, and I go, imagine your friend just being like, hey, do you want to come watch this? And like they're all going out for a night and having dinner, and it's just like, maybe because I knew the level of comedian on stage, I go, this is like a scam. Like like it was so bad. And then the first girl went up, she was fucking dog shit. She was just pandering about the fucking raids and the protests. It was so annoying to watch. I mean,
she set up her camera and mic'd herself,
and it was just like all like trying to get a clip
to talk about what's going on.
It drove
she
me
did
nuts.
15 minutes talking about the serious topic of what's going on right now.
It was annoying. But anyways, I was
like, no one here wants to hear.
Made me realize
that.
like stand up though, these shows, like you think it's gonna be fun, like on the cruise they were like this like participation-ish show, but like stand up shows, and maybe this is like why crowd work people like more, because like there's a moment where you're just sitting there dead quiet, the room is quiet, it's just one person talking, you're like, oh, I can see how this is kind of boring and why you wouldn't get into this.
It's weird because I get why crowd work is fun, because you, like you said earlier.
Yeah, it's stimulating the crowd, because otherwise they're just like, well, this is fucking boring. I'm just watching this guy rant and it's not funny.
But crowd work, they're all a part of this thing at the same time. they're pretty much with the joke as much as you are with the joke.
But then last night, it's interesting you said that. I agree with you. But then last night, even at the show, there was some crowd work moments, and I'm like, it doesn't even feel enjoyable watching the crowd. Maybe I was just in a shitty mood. I don't know. Like, but I was like, even crowd work to me at a show is like weird because I think being a comedian is ruining my review on this, but because in my head I go, oh, this guy's nothing to say, and he's just now bugging the audience, and it's like provoking this conversation like 5 beats longer than it should go, and it was like really awkward to me, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe because I just don't want to watch stand-up. But
I was going to do a second part. I was saying the positives in crowd work. But then you said the negatives. I've also been at mini shows where the audience is getting so mad that the comedian isn't getting back into the jokes because the audience is like, I don't want to hear about... It's typically when the person is more of a heckler or an annoying crowd person, so they're like, I don't want to hear about this person that's ruining my show anymore. I don't want the comedian to give them any more attention. I paid to watch jokes.
Right. No, I know. I remember that show we did in San Diego at Mic Drop a long time ago. I remember that drunk girl, and I talked to her like my whole set. Oh, yeah. And I felt
the
bad.
audience was pissed.
They were kind of annoyed. Yeah, they were pretty pissed. Like, I thought it was funny, and we were going, but there was a point where like I just wasn't doing material, and I felt fucking bad. I felt bad. See, I don't want to swear as much. I felt bad. Yeah, some crowds like that, so it's hard to tell. That's why I think a lot of comics, like, if I were a crowd work comedian to some degree, as far as in the terms of social media, I'd be foaming at the mouth because I'm like, oh, I can talk to her this whole show and get stuff. But then, like, in the moment, you're like, oh, this show is suffering because this chick won't shut her mouth. Mm-hmm. And that's what you see, like, when you go and do shows with crowd work people, you go, oh, they kind of like sacrifice the show for the sake of social media, which is kind of insane. Like that.
It's selfish.
It's pretty yeah, it is, in my opinion, where I'm like, you're like saying F this crowd, F this room. And yeah, some moments people like, but I'm like, for the sake, for what it is, the whole show is pretty dumpy because it's all like, what? And you're like,
you're using them as a studio audience.
100%.
Yeah, that's a good way to word it.
Yeah, and then you're like doing it for the sake of the clip. So down the road, you can maybe sell more tickets. But I'm like, it just seems like a weird system, which we know works. I mean, we see people where it's working. And then
I will say there is an exception to the rule where there are some comics that are so good at crowd work and well crafted into
I totally
their jokes,
agree.
It's fun to watch, and they're doing it the professional right way.
And they go and they weave it back into a bit. I think that's like where the professionalism. I think it's but at that rate, I mean, unless some of these other guys, I think they do so many shows they don't have to do as much blatant crowd work. But when it's like you're seeking shit, you're like, oh no, that's like, I mean, don't get me started. I mean, the fact that like comics now have cameramen on stage filming the fucking audio. You're like, but
you know that, Mike? Like some comics now have camera people.
They'll have like a
stage.
camera guy go on the stage to film the front row.
You don't think I've had to stand right about on stage, like my right foot in the spotlight to shoot somebody?
Really? Oh, that's crazy to me.
Hollywood improv.
Oh wow, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, do what you need to do.
I'm a big guy, too. It's awkward because I'm like, cool, I'm 6 inches taller than the guy headlining out there.
Oh, yeah, you're just hovering in the back.
Yeah.
Then the crowd's just like, there's like well lit, and you're like, oh, this is creepy.
It's uncomfortable.
But, do what you got to do. Anyways, the guy on the cruise, though,
I didn't hate him.
I mean, he literally did he was exactly what I thought a cruise ship guy would be.
He did his job.
And in my opinion, when the show was over, I leaned to her. I was like, I can never do that. I mean, as far as like,
tough.
I see what he had to do to get by. That's what it felt like when I went to Reno and did shows, where you're like, I will do all my jokes that I think they'll like. And I mean, you don't always want to guess what the crowd's gonna like, but I mean, when the crowd's a certain demographic, aka old and shit, you're like, oh, I can only do these jokes because it's otherwise going to be weird.
For sure.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. We were saying, though, just like after going on a vacation is good and bad. It's good because like now we want to come back and like when you're burnt out and like just everything you in your regular life, you're just like,
I feel like tunnel vision, but in a bad way, where you're like, you're only looking at the 12 things you have to do every day and freaking out.
But now we're like excited again to do those things and appreciative of all of the things.
Oh, I feel like I'm still on vacation. Where it's like you kind of lose like the psycho, what's it? Like that chore of posting online kind of goes away. Where you're like, whatever. Like I'm still doing it, but like when I was here, I'm like, I had to come 3 videos a week. You're like, okay, clearly that workload is like driving me into psychosis. And then leaving for 2 weeks, you come back, you go, okay, that was too much. Or like, don't give a shit as much. I
was thinking more of just you're doing it because you want to be doing it and you like doing
right. We
it.
enjoyed the thing. Yeah, we realize we enjoy doing that, but don't let it get to a point of there's no point to let it make you rip your hair out.
Yeah, or fall out.
But that's social media for you in a nutshell. It's kind of weird leaving too, because like then you do creep online when you get a second. You're like, the city doesn't stop doing the thing that you were caught up in. Where they're, you see people posting like crazy, or people shows or drama. You're like, oh, like that's like the city's like a tornado, and you're like, it's still going. We left. And I think when we come back, we're just outside of it. I mean, it definitely pulls you in because you start dwelling on getting more shows, and then you're dwelling on your post not doing well. I got to post. But I think we need to be good about stepping back and eating meatballs and watching Survivor.
For
Do
sure.
normal people things. That's the best. It's just going and being like, I'm a normal person. I'm on a cruise eating fucking a buffet. There's no buffets, but
endless amounts of food. My favorite thing, a dessert after every meal.
Yeah, why can't we do that always?
That was real nice.
You mean you guys aren't doing that always?
No, we're not. I wish we were.
Oh man. Are there any final cruise thoughts? We covered a lot of cruise material. I will say I feel rusty as hell doing stand-up, and stand-up is one thing. I'm sure a lot of things, but when you don't perform for more than a few days, you're like, oh, I suck. I haven't performed in a year, and
I feel like I quit. I feel like I'm not a comedian anymore. That's why going to her show last night. I wasn't even on it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm just a audience member.
Oh, it's so tough. And we have a few more things coming up this month. Or this will be out in a couple days. So if you guys are in Denver,
please.
Saturday.
The Bug Theater. Headlining that puppy. I was there last year. It was fun. So come back up.
Yeah, that theater is super cool. We were saying we wish we had the money to fly you out, Mike.
I know.
It's such a cool spot, but another time when we sell it out.
I wanted to film it, and then like in my head I go, okay, that's a fun thing because last year was so good. The ticket sales are good. And then I was like, man, I'd love to like get it to a point to like, film it like not a special, but like clearly a well shot hour that is clippable and looks better than most cameras and shit. And then like the tour dates were just dwindling, and I'm like, it just doesn't feel sharp, and I don't know, it just seems like it'd be a waste of money. I mean,
especially now knowing we were out of town.
I mean, literally, I'm like, I'm doing one show prior to that, and I'm just like, although I'm doing a corporate show Friday, so that'll kind of sharpen me a little bit for the hour. I'm still going to like, I'd still like to almost consider bringing the other camera to like get something out. I mean, I don't want it just to be.
I got 5 cameras here. You guys can borrow one.
I know. But like originally, and I think I'd rather look into doing this, and I think a lot of comics, like even Jeffrey Asmuth, he does like. He'll do like specials, even though it's like shot at a club, and it's not like, I mean, not to knock him, but it doesn't seem like insanely produced. And I'm like,
but his jokes are what holds it. It
just
shows like if your material's good.
That's all I care about. I don't care about like this like insanely like not like my buddy, and I like him, but it's like he's in Denver and he goes, oh, can you swing like $2,000? Maybe I don't know what shit costs to.
I think he was giving you a good deal.
I think he was too, but it's like it's not the deal, and I think he is giving me a good deal. My financial brain is like, I don't want to spend $2,000 on something I don't think is like ready to film.
Yeah. Yeah, Shane Gillis is a perfect example.
Like that one, to me, getting like random shots like that, and then a good shot of Shane on stage. Like, I mean, how many are angles of him on stage? You have 1, 2, and then probably a straight on. But that's probably a guy just walking around and getting shots, if I had to guess. And then I think
it's perfect. I think is a good example of what you're saying.
Yeah, like to me, the Bug can easily look like that
for sure.
So,
We'll take pictures of it, Mike, so you can see it for the future next time we're back in Denver.
yeah, that would be one I'd really consider doing because the crowds there are great.
Denver audiences are amazing.
Anyways, if we haven't hyped it up for Saturday, I don't know what you're gonna do or why you're not.
I know it might not look original, but the Ontario Improv is so easy and awesome.
Oh,
to
I
film
love the Ontario Improv.
because it's around like that half circle, and the way the seating is. Like it's a perfect distance to be able to put in cameras and not need super expensive long lenses.
Oh, really?
And you can just kind of drop a couple in the corners and then operate one wide and one tight in the middle, and then have one other friend be a crowd person, and 2 people can cover that whole room with 5 angles, including one like close up operating. And yeah, that would
The crowd. I mean, really, a crowd shot though. If I had to guess, you want to get like 20 different groups of people laughing, and then you can sprinkle them in wherever. If I had to
and then
guess,
the only other thing is if you happen to interact with anybody. Like I want someone operating that camera to be able to like punch into that person. In
Right.
case we need to
God
reference
forbid.
something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So another person. Wait, really quick. Pause this thought. Any plugs, and we're going to roll into the Patreon.
My diarrhea is gone.
It's been plugged.
Yeah.
It's been plugged!
Oh yeah, you wanted a performance plug.
Yeah, are there any other plugs besides Denver? Social media.
I think I'm gonna go home to my nephew's birthday. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
That'll be June 27th in Connecticut. You're all invited. Social media plug. I don't know. Just go to my page and like Matty Chymbor on everything. I don't know.
It'll all be below, and you know
guys-
him. He's been on a million times. Thank you so much.
This is great.
Wow.
I'll see you later at home. This
see you
morning we
later.
made meatballs and chicken.
So back at it. No more cruise
So comment
food.
below what you'd like us to eat for dinner tonight. And if Mandy still has diarrhea.
Yep, I do. All right, bye.
Bye.